I would like to thank you all for coming tonight to this event called inTime, Intercultural Rhythms, Music, Sounds, and Science. This event is a part of the Science and Media lecture series that we host in Rockefeller University. This is, I think, the first one this year. Okay, let's start it. I'd like to introduce you Alan Heath, who's going to speak a little bit more about our invites tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you and good evening. Sound has resonated with us through the ages, with rhythm being a particularly important part of that. Effectively, rhythm is movement and movement is life. And I'm really honoured to be here tonight to introduce our panel to you. So we'll begin with our panellist Sheila Allen. And Sheila is a licensed occupational therapist who specialises in sensory processing and is especially interested in the relationship between sound and movement and behaviour. A long-standing appreciation of the value of sound and music in fostering change and supporting function is really integral to her work. Sheila holds a bachelor's in occupational therapy and a master's in psychology, and is the co-founder and co-director of Paediatric Therapeutics. So, welcome. Are you coming to sit down, Sheila? Shall we do that? Okay. Thank you. Now I'd like to welcome Nacho Arimany. And Nacho is a master ethnic percussionist, multi-instrumentalist, and composer whose music career began at age 6 as a classical piano student and singer with the Spanish National Choir and Orchestra, and has evolved a highly unique blend of talents and capabilities which he offers as a producer, performer, therapeutic musician and educator. Nacho has immersed himself in the study of traditional rhythms from around the world, specialising in North African and flamenco rhythms. So welcome, Nacho. Come and have a seat. I'd now like to introduce Alex Doman. And Alex is a founder and CEO of Advanced Brain Technologies and the best-selling co-author of Healing at the Speed of Sound. The third generation in a family of pioneers in the field of child and human brain development, Alex has focused his career on sound, music and technology and their capacity to improve brain health and performance. He heads product development at Advanced Brain Technologies with many credits, including co-producing music for Healing at the Speed of Sound, music for babies, sound health, music for the mind, and many others. If I listed all the publications and programs that Alex had been interviewed for, we'd be here for a long time, so I won't. But welcome, Alex. And finally, I'd like to introduce Kamran Fallahpour as well. Now, Kamran is the director of the Brain Resource Centre in NYC and is a licensed clinical psychologist and neuroscientist in New York. His speciality and focus is in both research and clinical work in the area of health psychology, applied neuroscience, and neuropsychology. Applying the latest findings from research in health psychology and neuroscience, he has brought together an integrated approach to assessment and treatment of psychological and neuropsychological disorders. In addition to clinical and research activities, he's contributed to design and implementation of applications used for physiological monitoring and computer-human interface. He's affiliated with Columbia University as well as an instructor in psychiatry. So if you'd like to welcome Kamran, Dr. Fallahpour. Oh, you're there. Oh, thank you.
Okay. Good evening and thank you for being here. It is a pleasure to be here with a wonderful panel. You know, it is not very often that you find a panel that brings together neuroscience, clinical work in psychology and in occupational therapy, production of sound and music that's for therapeutic purposes, and of course the musician and composer and all the intricacies that goes behind the scene of how to bring all of this together. So it is a pleasure really to be here and talk about all this together in a panel. Now, Alex and I go very far back to, what, 10 years or 12 years ago?
Back to 2000.
Okay, so it's been a while, and we've been talking about music, the brain, the therapeutic aspects of music, and the conversation continues. We've had the pleasure to be together on a number of panels, UCI series and New York Academy of Medicine on music of the mind and music of Ustad Allahi and music and the brain. So it is a pleasure to be here again, and let's get started. Just to give you a little bit of context, of course, you're all, I'm sure, music lovers. You're familiar with aspects of music as therapy, and you've probably followed up with the research in neuroscience in the past decade or two that all point to the fact that music impacts the brain, the physiology, our emotions, our cognition, etc. But rhythm in particular is a very significant aspect of this. And we know now that our brain and our physiology, our nervous system is intrinsically tuned for music, and rhythm is really at the heart of it. And so I think this is a very timely, as it is called, inTime. It's a very timely topic. We'll get right into the discussion.